Plum Nocturne.
Nocturne.
Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be doing our November speed reviews. It's been a crazy ass week, so there's no time like the present. Let's go ahead and jump into all of these products. Now, typically you guys know I like to start these videos with like, you know, my least favorite products, and then I go into like my favorite products at the end of the video to finish on a high point. But truth be told, like all of the products this month were actually like pretty good. So I was like, you know what, we're just gonna go through all of them and chat. So the first product we're going to talk about is from Pat McGrath. This is her, let's see, Luxe eyeshadow quad in the shade Passion Fleur. So this is an eyeshadow quad that has 3 different glitters in here and then 1 matte shade. The swatches that we have here are Sienna Moonlight, Plum Nocturne, Rose Fire Glow, and Skin Show Pink Dawn. Pat McGrath eyeshadows, like you guys know, like in general, these are eyeshadows that I really enjoy. The thing that's interesting about Pat McGrath though, is that sometimes some of her deeper shades can be a little bit more difficult to blend out. Like I always tell people that Pat McGrath eyeshadows, I don't necessarily consider like a beginner friendly eyeshadow because sometimes it is a little bit of a stiffer formula, so then when you're blending it, sometimes it will skip on your eye. I actually do have a little bit on this left eye here where the deepest shade, that purple shade, is in my crease. It skipped a little bit. I had to work a little bit harder to kind of blend that out, and so in that way I'm kind of like, it's not goof proof. The other thing about Pat McGrath shadows is that typically speaking, when you look at all of the different glitters or the metallics, I find that the best way to apply these are with my finger. You can't really use a dry brush with these, and in that way I'm kind of like, again, right, you have to use different techniques to be able to get this to work. So in my opinion, not super easy to work with. However, the payoff of these eyeshadows is absolutely stunning. Like you can't look at my eyes and be like, that is not a stunning eyeshadow. And the thing that is amazing about Pat McGrath is that this eyeshadow will stay on from dusk till dawn. It doesn't matter what you're doing during the day. It doesn't matter if you're in like 100% humidity. Once these eyeshadows are on your face, they're not moving, they're not creasing, they're not gonna budge. But again, right, it just takes a little bit longer to get them to blend and to look correct on your eye. But then the nice payout is that like, you look stunning all day long. The next product we're going to talk about is from Dominique Cosmetics. This is their Brow Frame 4-in-1 Brow Pencil, and I have this in the shade Taupe, which is like literally perfect for me. This is a fascinating eyebrow pencil. So it comes in this really, really interesting shape where it literally has like this edge to it that kind of comes up. The way that this works is that you can use this edge against your eyebrows to be able to draw a really, really thin line, or you use this side like and use it flat against your eyebrows if, for example, you really want to fill in your brows like with a very, very heavy hand. For me, I prefer more of a natural brow. I don't typically carve out my brows. I did it once and I was like, I just look a little weird. So I never ever actually use this and like kind of, you know, do my brows this way. I prefer to do very, very hair-like strokes and go up and up and up. So I don't use the eyebrow pencil that specific way, but what I do really like is I like to just take it against, you know, this straight edge here, and then I'll just kind of fill in my brows. And in this way, this eyebrow pencil is like, you fill in your brows super quick in the morning. It's that perfect balance between like being soft enough that the pigment comes out and like it really shows up on your skin, but it's not so soft that it just like gives you a really, really thick line. It's not so hard that you just feel like you're like hurting yourself every single time you draw on a line, if that makes sense. Like this is just a very, very nice eyebrow pencil. The other thing is that you can pull out the bottom part, and it comes with this spoolie and then also a sharpener that's built in here. So all in all, this is a very well constructed eyebrow pencil, and the product performs beautifully. The next product that we have is from Alamar Cosmetics. This is their skincare infused liquid blush. It's called the Colorete Concentrate, and I have this in the shade, I'm gonna try this, okay? This is in the shade Amor de Melocoton, which I did take years and years of Spanish, so hopefully I got that correct. This is a great liquid blush. The formula of this actually does really, really well on top of powder. It does very, very well just on your bare skin if you want to go for like a very like blushy look. It looks great on top of cream products. Like this is just an outstanding liquid blush, and I love the shade that I received. So this is one of those more like pinky peach tones that just shows up wonderfully on the skin. It is what I currently have on my face. I really like the packaging also because It looks like it might be super messy, but for the most part this month that I've been using it, like I really haven't had any issues with like the Charlotte Tilbury sometimes gets like this is a much thinner liquid, if that makes sense. So the sponge applicator works really, really well for this because it's just like easy to apply and the liquid doesn't get all over everything. Like the Charlotte Tilbury version of these where it has like, it's more of the liquid highlight or the contour wand, those get a lot more messy because I think the formula is a lot thicker. And so that's why it like gets all over the packaging. You put the lid on top of it and then all of a sudden you've got like liquid just like, for lack of a better term, like oozing out of it. And so that does not happen with this blush. Like, because it's a thinner liquid, I think the packaging just works really, really well with the sponge tip applicator. Performance-wise, very easy to blend out, lasts all day. Like, this is actually a very, very good liquid blush. I will say Alamar Cosmetics makes some of my favorite complexion products. I actually used them on my friend when she got married because I was like, I need something that's gonna last all the live long day because she is a dancer. And I wanted to make sure that she looked stunning, and I went with Alamar Cosmetics for both her blush and her bronzers, so it's good shit. The next product we have is from Too Faced. This is the Sun Bunny Radiant Duo Tone Bronzer. Man, you guys, I completely forgot about Too Faced bronzers. Like, this is a product I used literally 10 years ago, if you can believe that. Like, is it 10 years ago? It's actually probably more than that. I feel like Too Faced bronzers were probably the first bronzers that I ever tried out. And so here is the bronzer in Sun Bunny. This is actually a very interesting bronzer. Now you would think that because it's got a little bit of shimmer in there that it would like accentuate the shit out of your pores. This actually does a beautiful job of not doing that. But it gives you this very like lifelike bronze to your skin that doesn't look dead, it doesn't look dull. It just kind of brightens everything but still gives you like that warmth and that chisel a little bit to your cheeks. And so this is a lovely bronzer. It's also super easy to work with. This is one of those bronzers where I would say if you're nervous about your bronzer application, you're nervous about like bronzing or contouring, this is definitely a goof-proof option. And the packaging, I will say, like, people say that Too Faced packaging is like very old school, but I kind of like it, you know, from a nostalgic perspective. I'm like, ooh, like 2000s, you know, so I really like this bronzer. I am tempted to go and repurchase like the chocolate smelling ones because if I remember correctly, like those smell incredible. And I love a good chocolate product during the holidays. Okay, we're down to our final two products. The next one we're gonna talk about is from Bobbi Brown. This is their highlighting powder in the shade Pink Glow. Boy, is this an interesting highlight. It's like weird in the pan. It's kind of almost like a baked formula, if you will. So it picks up really nicely on your fingers. However, the first time that you pick this up on a brush, you'll notice that you might struggle a little bit with picking it up out of the pan. You actually can go super ham and heavy with your brush into the pan and it'll still pick up like the perfect amount of highlight powder, which is interesting. So the first time that I used this, I like distinctly remember being like, ooh, this is soft. Let me go really light with my application. I put my brush in here and I dusted my face and I was like, well, where's the highlight? Like, where did it go? It's not even on my brush. I don't understand. So just be aware that like when you are using this highlight, don't be afraid to get your brush in there and like apply the highlight. Once the highlight is on your face, it gives you the most perfect natural highlight out there. I would definitely say if you're someone who like you want a blinding, super just like, wow, highlight, this is probably not it. But if you are someone who really likes a natural highlight, one that you could theoretically build up to a point where I would consider it beaming, but not like it takes more effort, if you know what I mean. Like if you like a natural highlight, I would highly recommend checking out the Bobbi Brown highlight. The last product is from LYS. This is the Speak Love Glossy Lip Treatment Oil, but this is in the shade Lovable. Y'all know I love the LYS lip oil. Like, oh my God, this thing feels so good on your lips. It feels so nourishing. It lasts a long time on your lips. I have the original shade, which is just clear, which I absolutely love. This one with the shade is a little bit more difficult to use, only for me. I want to make that really clear, like for my coloring, right? Because this is a much deeper lip oil, so the color of this is kind of like a, it's almost like a deeper berry shade with a little bit of brown in there, which honestly is like perfect for winter, like for fall and winter. The thing about this product and the applicator is that because of the shade, because it is a little bit darker, I can't just use the applicator and like apply it on my lips and then just use the applicator to like massage it in. What I usually end up having to do is I'll put a little bit on the center of my lips and then I'll take my finger and kind of dab it in. Only just because if I try to use the applicator, it winds up just kind of getting like all over my lips and it's like really obvious that it like did not apply it very well. And so that's the only thing about this lip oil that I'm like, ugh, just takes a little bit of an extra step. But honestly, that shine, that color, the nourishment to your lips, like very worth it. So if you're someone who wants like a lip oil where you're just like, apply it on the go, don't have to look in the mirror, no fuss, I would definitely get the clear version. But if you want something with a little bit more color to it, this is lovely. And yeah, that pretty much wraps up today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed this month's speed reviews. If you like this video, please feel free to like this video, subscribe to our channel, follow us over on Instagram, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.